What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 6. This is the We Are Flora Pearl podcast, and we are so happy to be back at it. My name is Nisa Muhammad. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to the founder, the CEO of the lovely Flora Pearl Foundation, Miss Latasha J. Humphrey.
Hello, everybody. It's such a blessing to be here, and I'm going to pass it on to the queen, Miss Jalen Wilson.
Hi. Hey, everybody. And I'm going to pass it to my lovely little sister. Hi, Z baby.
Hi, I'm here. Okay.
I never realized that y'all's greetings are similar. Like Jalen does the hi and Zaria does the hi. I never realized that until just now. I love it. All right, y'all. So welcome back, y'all. This is episode 6. We are talking about hashtag soft Black girl life. So before we get into that, let me ask, how you feeling, sis? But y'all gotta tell me how you feeling with a main character from a show that describes how you're feeling today.
Willie Gilbert. Had to
Oh.
say it before she got it.
Go
ahead.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Which season, girl? Which season?
Right.
Not season 1.
Okay. Is it Willie with Dwayne, or like is she with the senator?
She was with Dwayne.
Wow, she feeling real good.
He put her in her place a few times, but she still had it,
Oh yeah, she was still Miss Wet like Albert Wine.
I know.
Okay, I like that. She said it quick too. Jalen, how you feeling?
Okay, so I'm a reality TV queen. I'm feeling a mixture of like a Candy Burris because I like to figure out my next money move. But I'm feeling a little Giselle Bryant because Real Housewives of Potomac comes on in a couple of minutes. So
I'm hollering. Okay, the reality TV star over here. Miss Humphrey, how are you feeling?
So I'll say I'm a mixture between Issa on Insecure and Olivia on
Olivia
Scandal. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
feeling pretty daddy. I like that.
It's like just very complex, I would say. Just the fullness of each of them and who they are. I love that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm here for that. Della Reese, when she was in Harlem Nights, and she was just fussing at everybody and just real irritable and stuff, but she was still getting her point across. Like, that's how I'm feeling, because I've just been real tired and real irritable. And I feel like every time I want to do something, the man is coming into my building, taking money from me, and I got to let him know, like, these are all my girls, and I handle all my girls, and I'll fight you in the alley, even if you want to shoot me in my pinky. That's how I feel. I feel like he shot me in my pinky toe. All right, y'all, so let's get into this. What? Oh, this disclaimer.
The views and opinions expressed in We Are Flora Pearl podcast are those of the panelists and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Flora Pearl Foundation Incorporated or any of its affiliated entities.
And that's on who? Mary Had a Little Lamb. So, y'all, I also want to give another just quick little disclaimer. We're going to be talking about some heavy stuff today. We are going to touch on suicide as well. So just for the sake of your mental health, if anything feels a little bit too heavy for you, give yourself the grace to step away. Maybe come back to the episode if you need to later. We're going to try to keep it as light as possible. But because we're talking about the soft life for Black women, there are some things we have to touch on realistically. So just keep that in mind. Y'all, did you know that a Black woman once said, quote, "First of all, it is entirely impossible for any human to always be strong. I was always apprehensive of the term strong Black woman because it dehumanizes us and makes it seem like we don't hurt." And y'all, that is by the fabulous, the wonderful, the luxurious Taraji P. Henson. What do y'all think about that quote?
I agree.
I love me some Taraji. Yes, she said it. She's one of my favorite actresses. I really like her.
I love her. She gives fun auntie vibes.
Yeah, she's just super dope. But yeah, I feel like exactly what she said. I agree.
Yeah, I do as well. I think it's interesting because when you think like somebody being like strong constantly, and this is just me, I think of animals, if that makes sense. Like somebody's like, that horse is a strong horse, or that's a strong cow. I don't know why. It could be because like I had an obsession with animals when I was a kid. But when somebody's like, oh, this person is always strong, like in my head, I go to like, you're treating this person like livestock, like an animal. So that's always what my mind goes to.
But even with animals, like you said, a horse, I like that comparison because it's kind of like, that's a strong animal. That's a heavy animal. But even a horse hurts. Even a horse is weak, at some point in time, you're going to hurt. You're going to fall. And that's okay. Because as soon as that animal falls down, they get back up. Wow. And they're still that very strong animal.
Mm-hmm. And even when you think about how animals in like foreign countries, if you go to like Jamaica or Aruba or whatever, Brazil, you can ride these animals and they're there for you to take pictures and they're fun to enjoy. But what are the conditions that they're living in? How are they being treated when people aren't around? How did you tame them enough that they could be around people and not attack? That's why I don't like the zoo. I always think about that. Like, what did you done to these animals that they move like this? And I think that Black women are treated the same way. I know, right? Okay, yeah. So why is the conversation we're going to have important today? According to the CDC, right, in their 2020 high school youth risk behavior survey, suicidal ideation, that means the idea or the intent, among students, Black young women who have attempted suicide in grades 9 through 12, the percentage is at 15.2%. 15.2%. As opposed to young ladies of other races, you have 9.4% and 1.6%. Y'all, 15 is a big number when you talk 1.6 and 9.4. That is a huge number.
I do want to add that African Americans are the highest race when it comes to mental health, because we always have this stigma that you can pray about it or you can just get through it or work through it. But in reality, that stigma has been breaking down those endorphins and those hormones in your mind. And it's just weakening and it's causing that nerve damage to where you are messed up. But you know, what do I know? University of West Alabama just taught me that.
With your what degree, Jalen? With your what degree saying?
Master of Science in Clinical Mental Health Counseling.
Oh,
Yeah, she said masters. Yes. So Jalen, you're absolutely right. And that's why I feel like the conversation today is super important. And that goes into the next question, y'all. Why is it so important for Black women? And I say women, but it encompasses all of us. Young women, girls. If you Black and you a lady, this is for you, for the sisters, okay? Why is it so important for Black ladies to pay attention to their mental health?
One thing my parents always taught me, you got two things against you. You Black and you're a woman. Being a woman, you have all these hormones inside of your body. These hormones are bouncing off of each other. These hormones are spiking during some days, de-escalating in others. Then being that Black person and you have that society and that stigma that you're living around, it's like a positive and a negative going against each other, and it's just creating a negative. And so in this situation, as a Black woman, it's very important to focus on that mental health, because you have all these obstacles that you can't help that you're born into. And you have to know how to navigate throughout that.
To me, it's because it's necessary to not crash, to not take on these different things and not have a way to process through them. I know we're saying Black women, but that's a human period. And that will go back to even what Taraji was saying. We're human. You're not always going to have it right all the time. There are different factors and different things that are going on. It's necessary to pay attention to your mental health. If that's not in control, along with like your emotions, I feel like things can just go to the left really quick.
Yeah. What you think, Fee?
it's important for us to pay attention to our mental health because half the world don't like us anyway.
Period.
I'm just saying. It's
And
like
she said it.
so many people against us. It's like we especially need to focus on that because, like I said, with the suicide rate, it's like so many of us don't want to be here because of how the world treats us. So it is like we especially need to focus on our mental health and make sure we're still okay.
I love how Zaria's whole energy is just like, you may be upset, however, a conversation needs to be had. I think it's important because it's like, it taps into like what everyone was saying. It's like 15%, yeah. Like that's a huge number. It's important because growing up, I was taught, and I still firmly believe that heaven lies at the footstep of Black women. It just is what it is. If you got a problem with it, take it up with the creator. But I feel like in order for me to be able to create a world of peace for myself, where, like Zaria said, people who do not like me because I am a Black woman, or people who got an issue with me or want to imitate or copy or whatever, in order for me to live in a world where none of that determines how I see myself, I have to be at peace with myself. Like that's how I am able to get up in the morning and wear my hair how I want to wear it, or dress how I want. That's how I can look in the mirror and be like, you a fine Black girl. Like that's how I am able to honor the people who came before me, who may not have been able to talk mental health or acknowledge the stigmas behind it or any of that. It's because I'm standing in my truth, and I can stand in my truth because I'm getting my mind right. If my head is together, this is where my brain is. Everything else else follow. And so I think that's why it's so important, because you'll be able to navigate the world so much easier as a Black woman if you are taking care of you first. Like they say on the plane. I was on a plane recently and they literally walked up to every individual. They talked to the adults before they talked to the kids. They said, "Hi, if the plane goes down, put your mask on first before the little ones, okay?" Parents was like, "Cool, I understand." That's why Black women need to put their mask on first. Everybody else can either figure out or choke.
I don't know about the choke. Okay. But I was going to say, it goes down to the golden rule of life. How are you supposed to take care of someone else when you can't take care of yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask y'all, have y'all heard of the strong Black woman theory? Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah.
I love that. We help. So the strong Black woman theory basically is this idea that has been carried on, unfortunately, forever, it seems, for Black women, that we have to be the backbone. We have to be the support system. We take a hit, okay, keep going. We get attacked, okay, keep going. If you're tired, beaten, battered, bruised, just keep going. It's like we have to be the foundation of everything without being treated like Taraji was saying, like humans. We're dehumanized and we're seen more as the pillars for the world to stand upon, to imitate, to defile, to disrespect, but we have to stay strong and support the systems of the world. So that is the strong Black woman theory in my own words, right? Let me ask y'all, when did you first discover, the first time really like acknowledging it, like, oh my God, that's what it is? It could be for you, it could be something you've seen.
College. Being around a lot of Black women, it was girls that I knew that went to college and had children, and like she couldn't find a daycare for her child, so she brought the child to class. Because she couldn't stop. She knew that we had a test that week and she had to keep going. She wasn't going to get a pass like someone else. And so that, to me, I was like, oh, she's being a strong Black woman, because she knew no matter how tired she was, she couldn't give up.
And as you talk about that, Jalen, I feel like that's when it mentally, I had to put that in action and becoming a mother and being a single mother. It really was like everything was on me. I remember literally being in the hospital, and when the nurse came to say when it was time to go, the nurse was like, you know, this child is your responsibility, and like it's okay for you to be protective, and just kind of gave me the rundown of different things. And I almost like in tears. And it's not like I didn't have a few family members there to help support, but it really was as though mentally I had to step into a role that was new to me. But it was expected for me to be strong because that's what you're supposed to be. And I am a Black mother who I'm not married, you know. I would say that's one of the times when it was, it became real for me.
What you think about Z?
I would say, like, even in just society, period, especially in like the Black community, it's become like normal now that the dad leaves the family or whatever. It's like they blame the woman for everything, if that makes sense. I've been around certain people, like, say their dad did leave and the child would still like put all of the blame, put all of the pressure on the parent that stayed. And normally it is the mom. That's when I first kind of saw it, where it was like, no matter if the dad stayed or left, she still has to be strong regardless. Something like that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like if you think All-American, a lot of the stuff Layla did, they blamed it on her missing who? Her mom.
Yeah.
But had her daddy been dead, what? You know what I'm saying? You made a point there, Zara. You really did. You did
what
that.
You're saying too, Nisa. I mean, well, both you and Zaria are saying, like, basically, even for Layla, that particular character on All-American, if her mom was there and the dad was gone, that the mom would have had to take the load.
Like Spencer. Like Spencer and
yeah,
his mom.
like Mama Grace. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Where she gotta take control of that kid, because oh my God, Spencer.
I'm just glad they stopped putting her in those hair tubbing outfits and hairstyles, okay? What a long way we have come to freedom.
Nisa.
I'm just saying, your son is All-American. Billy got money. I know he out here tricking on you, sis. Let's do better, please.
Okay, so moving on to the next topic.
Hold on, because I gotta do mine. I first discovered the strong Black woman theory early on in my life. I didn't know what it was called then, but I just remember I literally had an entire panic attack. But I was in school during morning ceremony. We were singing the Black National Anthem, and I just burst out into tears. It was midterm week. I think I had a cheer competition competition that weekend, and the house was up in frenzy over something. And I couldn't breathe and I burst into tears. Not one person when I got back to school the next day was nice about it, if that makes sense. Like everybody was just pretty much like, I heard you were being dramatic. Like, oh, you're so dramatic. Like that was the thing. Like, Nisa, you're so dramatic. That day I was pretty much like, when stuff goes wrong, I'm just going to keep it to myself. And that actually led to like maybe a year or two later, I did end up having a panic attack. And I think my brother found me like laying on the floor, choking, trying to get air because I was like, wow. And so I hate that term when people are like, oh, she's just dramatic. I'm not dramatic. For me, if I'm telling you something's wrong, something's wrong. And so I discovered it early on and I've always despised it, like with my whole entire heart. But yeah. Okay, yeah. So when did you or have you broken away from the strong Black woman theory?
Yes. And I'll say that it's a daily process to give myself grace, basically to own that I don't have to be the strong Black woman that I choose to stand in. I have feelings that I hurt, and that doesn't make me weak or I can't handle things. That's not it. I can honestly say that I have grown to be able to break away from that.
I love that.
Yeah.
ZJ?
I was like, when Nisa just expressed like about the whole dramatic thing, I realized that I'm not fully away from it, because there's even sometimes where I'll express myself and after it, if I feel like I did too much, I'll go straight to calling myself like dramatic or a drama queen. And I realized I do that a few times where right after I express something, me going straight to, oh, I'm just freaking out, like I'm being extra, like that's taking away from what I was feeling and going into the whole, it's no big deal, like I'm supposed to get back. So I guess I haven't. I was about to be like, yeah, I got away from it, but dang, hold up.
That's okay, Zaria, because guess what? I haven't either. It's baby steps for me. There are certain spaces where I have to demand of myself to be soft, even with my own boyfriend, which is mad crazy because like literally that's my best freaking friend in the world. But there are times where and he notices it where he's like, okay, look, moment of honesty, moment of transparency, what's up? And I have to be like, it's okay to lay your burden here. It's okay to be like that here. So I feel you on that 100, girl. We here with that. Like it really is. It's tough.
So I ain't gonna lie to you. I just started like recently. I went to my parents. I said, I can't do this. I'll never ask y'all to help me, but I need help. And they looked at me and they started laughing. And I was like, I'm not laughing, like this is serious. And they said, you can do this. You're okay. But let me help you. Let me show you how. Because I used to be adamant that I wasn't gonna ask nobody for help. I was gonna get it done on my own. And I was just like, I don't want to feel like this no more. I don't want it to catch up with me later on in life. Then I'm so stressed out because I'm always doing something on my own. And so in a quick second, I'll go escape to my parents' house and say, I need to live my soft life. I don't want to be that strong Black girl, or I need to go to my safe space, because you had to choose yourself. And I'm not saying I don't have moments where I say, oh no, I don't need help, because I still do have those moments, but I know my boundaries now. And I know like when I'm about to tap out, I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing this. And I put my phone on do not disturb within a quick second.
Mm-hmm. But you know how powerful that is. I know you say you 21 forever, but you know.
Okay.
I was around your age, a little older during that time, but I'm saying for you to be in that space, to own that now and really work towards that, just recognizing that, Jalen, like it's super dope. I love that for you.
And I like it because you said something really important that I think will help Black women, Black girls in general, is realizing that nobody got to where they are without accepting any help. Even if it's a piece of advice or a stick of gum because they was on the way to an interview and their breast stank. Somebody helped you along the way. I know, y'all. Because people will act like that stuff is not significant, but it really is significant. Like nobody got to where they are by themselves. It's impossible. I said, Auntie, why do we have backs if we can't reach them? And she said, it's because God wanted you to know that you're supposed to have somebody to have your back sometimes. Sometimes people have to rub your back, put lotion on your back, put sunscreen on your back, scratch your back for you. And that's just really what it is. We're not animals. It is survival of the fittest, but that's what an S at the end of fit is, meaning we got to do it together.
And you know what's so funny, Nisa? I was just telling somebody that the other day, whether you got just a mom, you got two parents, you got a grandma, whatever the case may be, you always got somebody in your corner that's praying for you, even if you never hear.
Yeah. What the TikTok say? I had a praying grandmother. Like, yeah, somebody got you. Like when you feel like nobody do, or you feel like there is nobody, there's There's somebody in the
There's
world.
somebody in your corner.
And it might be somebody you never even expected. That's the wild part. All right.
Mine is my future Major League Baseball player husband that I have met yet.
They like sports, but yeah. So we talked on the negative side effects a little bit, like we've been touching on anyway. But what do y'all think is the worst part of having to be strong as a Black woman all the time? Like when you think about it, it just makes you cringe and you want to rewrite history.
The fact that it is like an expectation. Like what? It's like because we came up with it. How you sign me up for something that I didn't even subscribe to?
You feel me?
We didn't have a conversation about that because I would have said no. Like that wouldn't even be table.
I would have checked no. I'm not coming on my RSVP form.
I'm not doing that for the rest of my life.
And it was like, this is what it is. I didn't
immediately no. Immediately no.
Think about it.
Right. And
I gotta take crap from everyone. I don't wanna.
Immediately no.
I've seen what I need to see. Get somebody else to do it. That's a good one, Miss Humphrey. What do y'all think, ladies? ZJ?
You know, it goes back to what you and Zaria said earlier about how, like, when you're trying to be strong, when you do break, you get this, oh, she's just being dramatic. You don't know what I'm being. Like, who are you? Who died and made you God to tell me what I am? Like, you can't even spell it. Like I tell the kids, spell it. If you can't spell it, you can't say it. If you can't tell me the definition, you can't say it.
Oh, baby, the way the education system set up, they ain't talking hardly. Your kids
they be quiet as a mouse. They be like, you got to put
kids
your
can't even say their name. Just all they can say is hi. Whew, Jesus. Hello from the other side. Okay. Whew.
But I think that's what makes me the most mad, because it's like you can't even express yourself. I don't like that.
I'll probably say that one then. Like the fact that if any Black girl shows like an emotion outside of what society has put out there, it's like, oh, here she go. They'll have full tantrums in the stove, and it's like she's just going through something. And then it's like, we're crazy. Like we literally, oh God, what is she doing? Like that is so inappropriate. That, or even what Jalen was saying, where she was like asking for help. I hate so badly that so many of my Black girlfriends, they have a fear of asking for help.
I want to roll back over to that crazy word. Zaria, thank you for saying that. Let me explain something to you. If you're going to sit here and tell me, oh, well, she's just being crazy. You know, she just crazy. Oh, they're just crazy. I sure am crazy with a K, a big K. It'll get all up on you. I sure am crazy.
Baby, crazy has a C in it, okay? Like, I want to help you today.
The C don't do justice. Like, you need the big K, the big energy. Because it's just like, you're going to get that negative connotation for what? We're not the ones sitting there calling the cops because we fear for our life when somebody looking at us. Now, that to me, that's what you call crazy. Like, you mentally, something wrong with you.
Girl, that's privilege. When things happen, my first thought is not to call the police at all. We're not calling them. We can't. They might take the victim for the suspect. And oh my God, now we got to have a funeral. The worst thing for me, y'all, is that we are still constantly Black women who have mates.
Say it, friends.
Since we're talking about the soft life.
Yeah.
There's no reason as a Black woman, I don't care, and that you got a man who calling himself your man, and you are expected to hold stuff that don't make no, because God didn't make Eve first. If y'all want to get biblical with it, he made Adam, and he made Adam to take care of Eve. But clearly that didn't work out because Eve ate the apple and Adam was supposed to be watching her. My issue with that is that it feeds into what's going on today. Let's stay with me. The problem is that you call yourself the leader of the household, you call yourself the man, the alpha male, any of that. And this Black woman is out here not only taking care of your kids, laying down backwards, bending over forward, working a job, and taking care of everything else. There's absolutely no reason that's going on. And you still want her to be strong and stable mentally for you to cook your food, iron your clothes, and host your football parties while you just do what? Play Madden and 2K all day. That's ridiculous to me. That is the worst part of the strong Black woman theory. And when I think about hearing elders talk about, respectfully to my elders because I love y'all, but when y'all talk about how y'all stuck behind these trash behind men who decided to treat you like you were low and you stayed because, well, sometimes you just got to work through it. That to me is the worst part of it, because that stuff gets passed down. And you got little girls and daughters and nieces who think, oh, I'm just supposed to because my grandma did or my mama did or my great grandma. That is the worst thing that has ever happened with the strong Black woman theory, is that we are supposed to just take this abuse from the men who are supposed to be protecting us and looking out for us. We might as well be going through the wheel Willie Lynch syndrome all over again, just within our own community. I hate it. I'm sorry. That
Yet.
I hate that. Yeah, that's a button.
We can move on to the next question.
Answer it. Let's go.
I hate it. That's bogus. And I'm not subscribing. Cancel my subscription. Burn the magazine. Don't show it to me no more.
The reason why you're not subscribing is because you have boundaries. We as Black women, we got to learn that big B word. We got to learn them boundaries with ourselves first.
Yeah.
And then with others.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to tell y'all something. You tell me what you think. Black women deserve the soft life. Yes or no?
And do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you asking, what is the soft life? I'm going to put it to you like this. It's what white women get. Let me explain. Just hear me out, because I saw this on TikTok earlier and sis was talking her stuff. They were like, what's a luxury to rich people, but it's considered asinine or like lazy for people who are below the poverty line or working class, whatever. And someone said, a nanny. Check this out, y'all. The soft life for rich Caucasian women is that they can have someone who can take care of their child while they go out and drink their Starbucks and go to Target, and then they come home and they sit in their closets and they meditate over their hard day in the Starbucks line, all while someone else is watching their child, right? Mm-hmm. For a working single mother who is Black, they get trashed or tarnished for, oh, you dropping your kids off at their grandma's house? And where are they going? They're going to work.
See
what I'm saying? The soft life is where those conveniences that are afforded to other people who don't look like us because they feel like they deserve it, it's where we get them too. So it could be staying in bed a little later. It could be paying more money for something extra that you typically wouldn't. It could be dropping your kids off at their grandmama's house because you want to have a day at your house peacefully. Black women deserve the soft life, period.
All day.
I don't see the problem with that. Like, my thing is, if I don't have the soft life and I'm stressed out, how am I ever going to come up with more things for white girls to steal and idolize?
Misa.
I'm just saying. Think about it. So, y'all, what is your idea of the soft life? Like, when you think about it for yourself, what does that soft life look like for you?
Soft life for me looks like that I don't have something.
She came in. It's okay. She came in like a record box.
I'm about to be like, oh,
I got time. Soft life for me.
She came in like Ronnie and Tricks off of Players Club. All right, everybody, all eyes on me.
But now I want you to hear me and hear me clear. Soft life for me, meaning I don't need you there financially, which that would be good though. Soft life for me is I need you there when I can't be there for myself. I need you there when I can't get down on my hands and knees and pray. I need you to pray for me. That's the soft life for me. And if you can't bring that to the table, then why are you sitting at my table? Emphasis on my table.
She said, get up. We don't serve your kind.
That's what she said. Life for me.
Okay. That's the soft life. For Jay, what about you, Z?
Well, I'm not like a basic person, but I just like basic things. I like simple things. I say the soft life would just be like the normal life for me. Okay. I would be chill. I wouldn't have to worry about money. I wouldn't have to worry about where I would lay my head. You know, nothing like that. My car, anything like that. I would be fine. Because that stuff that I freak about, yeah, y'all. Soft life would just be that. That's it.
See, that's some good stuff right there, though.
It is. And think about it like this, Daria. Let's say, you know, in the future, something happens to your car. But like you said, you don't have to worry about money. So you have the means to get it fixed. That's soft life, you know? Like I think about something, Miss Humphrey, a while ago, you had said it where my car was messing up and I was tweaking about it because I was missing work or something like that. And you was like, but okay, but you're able to get it fixed. I had a soft life in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, that's a soft life moment because I did have the means to do that. You have the right idea. But I think that's a great example of soft life. I love it. I'm here for it.
I'll say
it's your turn. You're just gonna be traveling.
I love to travel.
I knew it.
Like, being able to go away for like months at a time and it's okay. Like, it's not like having to come back. But that's the ultimate, I would say. Eventually, like, we're gonna get there, right? However, in this season, what's good for me is to be able to treat myself to things that I like. And there could be bigger things, or there could be something as simple as if I choose to go to Starbucks, if that's what I want to get for breakfast. So I want to get my mani-pedi, you know, different things like that, a massage. It's those different things, like the things that make me happy. Sometimes it's the simple comforts of being able to sit in your space at home and you're at peace.
I love that too, Miss Humphrey. And I like how you spoke to like right now, because I feel like a lot of people, when they think of like what they want, they always go like futuristic with it. When it's like, you could start today with simple things. I think for me, like soft life is being a kid. Like in my head, I'm very childish. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Like I am very childish. I don't mind breaking out in a dance and song in the middle of the day. And I don't care where I am. You say a word and it goes in the song, Guess who's gonna sing it? Me. I don't mind those things because I feel like those are the things that kind of keep me like young. And when I was young, I had the best time. Baby, 16-year-old Nisa, she lived. Okay. My best friend had just got her license. We lived. There was living that was done. And I never want to be the person who, when they get in their 30s, their 40s, or 50s, I'm not enjoying my time. And so I do. My soft life is having a good time. I'm never not going to have a good time. And that just is what it is. If that's booking a trip, which I will, Miss Humphrey will tell you, Miss Humphrey, what we're doing Friday? Okay. Is it okay if I leave early? Because I gotta get to Atlanta. I just feel like that's the best way for me to continue enjoying the life that I live, is just living it and making every moment fun and hee and ha, so that when the casket closes on me on my final day, everybody's gonna say, "What Nisa knew how to live. Nisa had a great time. I had a great time."
And I would say, Nisa, you and I, we talked briefly about something similar, and I think it was dealing with soft life. It's been probably about 3 weeks ago. But what I said was there were things that I was going to try that were new, outside of my comfort, outside of the things that, although these are things and I love these different things that I do, but I'm going to add some new things to it just to, like, challenge myself and get outside of some of my comfort. So that's what I'm in the process of doing now.
I love that for you. You're gonna have a great time. I tell people all the time, I'll try anything twice, 3 times if my mother can watch it. Because the first time you do something, you're apprehensive. The second time, you know what to expect, so you can experience it a little more. And then the third time, it's like, we here, let's go. So yeah, make your memories, queen. Absolutely. Yes. All right, y'all. So how do you practice self-care?
I love meditation.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to center me. And so that's good for me. I have my yoga mat, my sage, candles, and different things like that. And also I like to walk and get out in nature. I would say that's in a lot of ways how I practice. So yeah.
I love that. ZJ? I like ZJ. That's cute. ZJ. Come out with a bonnet brand. ZJ, the edges way.
So I was telling my mom today, actually, I was like, I switched over to press-ons. One thing that surprised me was I like doing my press-ons. Like, I like my me time on Sunday to watch my reality TV and do my nails. And so, like, that's my pamper. I feel like I'm pouring back into myself. And my press-ons don't look like press-ons. Like, they look like I went to the shop. So, that's my self-care for me.
She said she gonna be cute regardless.
And I like to get my passport stamped too. So if anybody want to holler at me, go.
Period, baby.
Because I need you to pay for it. Because I don't like spending money.
Period. Because they tell me if I go to the Bahamas one more time, they gonna make me a citizen. And America ain't doing too good. So
let go.
What's going on?
Let go.
What about you, Z?
I think I have learned to love spending time by myself and seeing it as a good thing. And I'm not gonna say that I didn't go through like a depression phase, but after being in that phase, and then you feel like if you're alone and you're whatever, like that's what you're going back to, but really seeing it as a good thing. Like, yeah, I think that's me.
That's so important. I tell y'all all the time, caskets do not come with bunk beds. Like, you're your longest commitment. And that's so important because when you can enjoy yourself now at your age, that's going to stop any of these little funny looking boys from being able to run game on you or ever make you feel like you need somebody. Like, sis, that's so important. And you're young enough to where that matters. Like, that matters to hold on to that and to carry that, because that stops a whole lot of crap that you don't have to go through with other people. Sorry. I want to throw my shoe with you, girl. Yes, absolutely.
Throw some at me.
Yes.
I want to agree with Lisa on that, though. Ooh. Like, real talk. Because how do you expect someone else to want to hang out with you? Or how do you expect someone else to know what you like if you don't know what you like yourself, or you don't like to hang out with your own self? And my mom will always say, she was like, in your single season, know your me time, because it's going to be a point in time where you're not going to be able to do it as much. And that's going to start putting drainage on your relationship. So being able to say, like, that's your self-care, baby, you're gonna be unstoppable.
No, really, Zoe, like, that is a self-esteem builder where you realizing, like, I am a woman, and better than that, baby, I'm a Black woman. Like, I'm the source of all of this. So yes, absolutely. How do I practice self-care? So I do a couple of different things. I will scream. I scream at the top of my lungs, because sometimes that's all I got for life. It's just a scream. These last 2 weeks, I have had so many screaming moments. Sometimes I just break down in tears because it's like some things in me, I'm not sure what's wrong, but let's cry it out. Maybe we'll feel better. I dance it out. Like I said, I don't care where. Sometimes you just got to hit a quick little 2-step, little 8 count. And I listen to music. Those are the things that really help me kind of get myself back together. Those are self-care moments for me because when I'm listening to music, depending on what the message of the song is, it's either F this, I don't care, or it's like, you know what? We got strength, courage, and wisdom, or we got this moment, we'll be okay. So those are my things. But a lot of it for me really is like getting it out in that way where like sometimes I do got to yell. Okay, yeah. So as Black women, where have you found that you have a safe space?
You know what was going to be so funny? I was about to say my room. Growing up, like my childhood home is not big, but everybody had their own room. When I felt like everything else outside of my room was stressful, being in my room was my safe space. Now that was a good and a bad thing because, you know, staying in that confined space and not coming out or getting fresh air and stuff that can cause depression. But being able to have like an area now, like in my house is my safe space. Or if I feel like I'm so worked up and I can't have my house as my safe space, my parents have a patio. Sometimes I'll lay on the grass or I'll just lay on their couch on the patio and just breathe. Really a home environment. That's my safe space.
I love that.
I think my safe place is editing. I started editing when I was younger, and obviously I sucked then. When I first started, I was terrible. Like I look back at some of my edits.
You were unlearned, Zaria. You were unlearned.
Oh my God.
And when did you start?
You gonna always talk about it was that summer.
I'm just saying,
when she couldn't go to camp that one year.
She was at her grandmother's and she could have done anything else in the world.
You know that's you don't
and she learned how to edit during that summer when she was not.
How old were you, Zaria? No, for real.
How old were you? 10.
So you were supposed to be perfect at 10 and you editing videos at 10. You know what I was doing at 10? I can't even remember because it was so long ago, even though I'm 21. But
I was fighting boys outside. So.
She's talking about editing, just editing. I'm talking about, no, she created the room background, filming in different rooms and putting it all together.
That's when I had
come on now.
I know what I was doing at 10. I was too busy sneaking in my sister's little chat rooms. Zaria, you wouldn't know about that, but they used to have like chat rooms back in the day before we had like Facebook and all of that. We had like chat rooms.
But you're 21.
Times a couple other numbers, yeah.
No, but yeah, I feel like it's editing. I don't think I'm like a control freak, but I can be at sometimes. And I feel like editing is one thing, like you can control that. You can control when you finish the edit, you can control when you start it, you control what transitions you do. And I love that. Love it. I'm like, I would do that all day if I could, for real.
Period. What's your safe space, Ms. Humphrey? Where have you found that you've had a safe space?
I would say doing what I love and with the people that I love.
Yeah, that's for me too. Like anywhere where I can just be around people who just love me, you know, it's like genuine love. So that's what I think I manifested for 2022 was like, I just want to be around people who love me. And throughout the year, I feel like that's all that I've been around is people who genuinely love me. And that to me was like where I found my safe space. And it's even when we're just around each other, not saying nothing. Quiet.
Oh, I love you too, friend. I'm glad I get to be a safe space.
Like genuinely, it just is what it is. We're sitting there saying nothing. And I'm just like, I got an attitude. Why? I'm not sure, but I have one. Okay. And we just go back. That's the safe space for me because it's like I don't have to, I don't want to say perform, but I don't have to fake it to make it. Like, you know how you have to be polite certain places or what. I don't got to do none of that. I'm just existing. Those are safe spaces for me.
And that's so good because that's so true. Like being around people where you feel like you got to over explain something or like she said, perform. That is so irritating.
Oh yeah.
Oh, get out of my life real quick.
Or you got to explain your reasonings or you feel like everything you do is being criticized or police. It's like, you know what? I'm not an inmate. I don't need a corrections officer. Goodbye.
Get out my face.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So we got to talk about knowing the signs. According to a blog posted on Bakersfield Behavioral Healthcare Hospital, there are 5 warning signs of depression that people need to know. So if you see any of your loved ones going through this, or even someone you may not be close to or know, but you just so happen to see them in class or at work and things have changed. What's up, Z?
Oh, I thought we were taking turns reading. Which one?
Yes, I'm so glad because I was definitely gonna. Zaria, go ahead and read.
I read the first one. Unexplained aches and pains, such as joint pain, bloating, and backache. Oh wait, I should have said that so happy. Unexplained aches and pains, such as joint pain.
You don't say so depressing either.
And backache.
Could you give people hope?
Oh God. Okay, read it again. Take 2.
Unexplained aches and pains, such as joint pain, bloating, and backache.
Okay. Number 2, Jalen.
Inability to concentrate, extreme lack of focus, and trouble making decisions.
Okay. Ms. Humphrey, number 3.
Too much or too little sleep.
Love it. Number 4 is changes in appetite, meaning you could be eating more or eating less. And then Zaria, hit us with number 5.
Moodiness and irritability.
No, buddy.
All right, next. Stop.
Did I say it right?
No.
Moodiness and irritability.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Period.
You know, I gotta make my mental health disclaimer. People that's listening, don't go on here and say, "Oh, I got depression. I'm depressed." No, it's not what this means. Because in order to be depressed, you have to have some sort of diagnosis or something before that leads you to that depression. And just because you are diagnosed with that does not mean that is a permanent diagnosis for everything. There are things called situational depression. Okay. So don't be like me and go look up something and then think you got cancer, because that ain't how they work.
You're the same thing.
I told you we were the same people, sweetie.
Mental health issues, stuff like depression, anxiety, it's like that stuff is not a trend. Like the people who deal with those things, they're really dealing with stuff. Like every day you have to try to be a person. So, just have some respect.
Exactly.
I think one thing that irritates me, because I think me and you were talking about this the other day, where it's like being depressed and stuff is like, it's like popular to be depressed. So like they'll be so quick to say it. And I hate that so much. As someone who actually dealt with it sucks. So for people to just be like, I'm depressed, like it's not funny.
It's not, because it's really a chemical imbalance in the brain. Like it really is. And when you realize that, like the only thing that you want is help, like you really want to be like your best self. So it's not a trend. It's not a fad. It's not something you post on social media for likes. It is something that you need to take seriously and respect. So have some respect for it.
And I'm going to end it by saying, if you can go to the gym because you want to work out, if you can go to the beautician because you want to get your hair done, you can go to a therapist. Don't talk about it, be about it. Get help.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. So for those of you who may want help, Jayla, because it's a perfect segue, right? Megan Pete, aka Megan Thee Stallion, has launched a mental health resource website. The site is named after the course of her song Anxiety from her latest album, Traumazine. It is beautiful. It has its moments where she's popping her stuff, but if y'all listen to behind the beat and the flow of the song, sis has really been through some things. She lost her mother, she lost her grandmother, and when you lose people who are that close to you, you tend to cling on to whomever is there at the time, thinking that they mean well for you. And so she talks about all of that. And so the site is called Bad, Have Bad Days Too. But like Jalen said, get the help that you need. There's no shame in it. You want to be trendy and cool and say you have it, be trendy and cool and get the help. Because that's what's cool now, is getting the help that you need when the resources are available and they weren't years ago. All right, y'all. It's okay, Black girl. Y'all try not to cry, okay? Because I cried a little writing this. Share some thug tears. It is okay, little Black girl, to not be okay. As cliche as it may sound, there is nothing weak about asking for or needing help. The road to being healthier mentally is not easy, but it is a journey worth taking. And as you travel that road, do so giving yourself grace, love, and rest. Remember that life is about progress, not perfection. You got this. And for those of you who may need it, or a friend who may need it, the National Suicide Hotline number, they've actually changed it. It used to be extensive, but somebody thought, hey, when people are in need, they don't have time to dilly-dally with a bunch of numbers. And so they shortened it. So if anybody is dealing with suicidal thoughts or ideations, as we talked about earlier, the number to call is 988. There's somebody in this world whose life will be impacted if you are not here. There's help. Please take it. So y'all, we're going to liven some things up here. It's time to live life, give life. This time around, I was thinking what we do is we give women and girls one piece of advice to help them with their journey to healing or to their soft girl lifestyle.
Choose you every time. As my good friend says, I'm betting on me every time. You need to create boundaries with yourself first so you can have those boundaries with other people.
All right. I like that. Choose you.
So like with their journey to healing, take it one day at a time. I had to be told that, y'all, like literally a few hours ago, but it's okay to have good and bad days, especially if you're having a really good month or like a really good 2 months. And one day happens, you want to call it like a hiccup and you go back a step. It does not destroy any of the progress that you've made. It's it's okay. I needed to hear that. So I know somebody needed to hear that. The fact that you even started your healing journey is a big step because some people haven't.
Yeah. Okay. Counselor Z, we see her. She edits, she counsels. Okay.
I would say give yourself a limitless amount of grace and love.
Keyword limitless, right?
Limitless. However, also receive that as well. So be able to receive it and then to give yourself and of course, others. But give yourself, starting with yourself. It has to start with you. Everything starts with you.
I love that. I guess this is for healing and self-care lifestyle. No is a full sentence. But when you start saying like no to situations or to people or even to emotions that people try to put on you, like when you start saying no and you stop subscribing to that, life takes on a whole new meaning for you. Like you really get to choose how your days go. You get to choose the mindset you're in. You get to choose how you're going to wake up and spend a Sunday or Saturday. And so anytime that you're trying to heal, you have to sometimes tell family like, no, I don't want to be a part of that. And no, I don't think that's okay. And no, I don't want to give up, my Friday nights and do X, Y, Z. So no's a full sentence with no explanation needed because it's a full sentence, no period. And I feel like Black girls are never allowed to say no. So I'm telling you, you're allowed. Yeah, we did it. We wrapped up episode 6.
This was a good one.
Okay, y'all. So we made it to episode 6. We are super excited for y'all to let us know what you think in the comments below. Really consider and take in everything that we said today, because as a Black woman, as a Black young lady, as a Black girl, you are entitled to the soft life. We have been strong for way too long. And so we definitely deserve the ease and the peace that we want. Everybody else gets it. Why not us, right? And since we are the givers of life, it makes sense for us to have an easy one, so we don't pass that trauma down to our offsprings. So thank y'all for rocking with us with episode 6. We'll see you next time. Miss Humphrey, what do you got to tell the people?
Keep shining.
Dang it. I'm about to say.
Nisa muted me, so I had to unmute myself if I came back in.
I don't like zoos because they stink. And then I don't like circuses.
That's legit.
Sorry, y'all talked about travel, and I started looking up some stuff for Tulum. They got a new resort in Tulum.
Oh, God.
Girl, you can't drink the water there. Stop going there. Stop it. Go where you can drink the water. I know as a kid, I stopped using glue because I found that out. When I found out they make glue out of horse parts, I literally was like, Mom, tape or nothing. Like, how dare you bring this to me?
Was Jalen doing her nails?
It popped off while we were talking, and I had to fix it.
Hashtag self-care.
I don't know if you all saw the video where someone literally passed their baby. It's like The Rock and Kevin Hart are on
Through the crowd.
They did.
And all I saw, nasty germ coated.
That baby was fresh out the cooter, Miss Humphrey.
Rejoice, let your voice